This is the part that no one ever says. And it has you thinking, something's wrong with me. I must be doing something wrong. And here's the thing, it's not. It's just that you may not have been aware of this piece of it. And this is a critical piece of the equation. The identity gap is the distance between the version of you that says, I want it, and the version of you who says, it's already mine. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show, where we talk about lots of things, but specifically launching and scaling your holistic health and functional medicine business from a place of alignment, from a place of audacity, and from a place of real CEO energy. Now, that being said, today's episode is a potent one, is a very potent one, especially if you've ever had the thought of, I'm doing all the things. So why isn't it working? Why isn't my business where I want it to be? Right. So if you've ever had that thought, there's a couple of reasons, right? But one of the reasons is and I say this from a place of love, right? Because when I speak to nurses and nurse practitioners and they say, I'm doing all the things, well, why isn't my business progressing? Right? Why am I plateaued? And I ask them, well, what are all the things that you're doing? And they go through a laundry list of things that they're doing, and none of them are income producing. None of them are revenue generating activities. So there's issue number one. But then really the bigger issue, or I'll just say the bigger issue is if you truly are doing all the things, all the quote unquote right things, and you're still wondering why it's not working. The reality, the harsh truth of it is, it's not because of the strategy. You can have the best strategy on planet Earth, written by or created by the master strategist, which, that doesn't even exist because the strategy needs to be, it really needs to be your strategy. But here's the thing. You can have the picture perfect, I'm doing air quotes here, strategy on paper. It's not about the strategy. It is about the version of you that's implementing the strategy. It's about the version of you that's doing all the things, okay? So let's dive into why identity, not your to-do list, but identity is the real bottleneck. And here's the thing. No one's mentioning this. And the reason why I am bringing this conversation into the room is because no one is mentioning this, and you're thinking there is something wrong with you. You're thinking, I must not be good at business. I must not be good at what I do. This may not be the place for me, when that is simply not the truth. The truth is there's a strategy illusion and there is an identity gap. So let's first talk about the strategy illusion. And here's the thing. I love a good strategy. And in fact, strategy is necessary. You absolutely must have a strategy if you plan on moving your business forward. I don't care what level of business you're at, right? If you're just throwing up things, like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping and praying that it's going to stick or that something sticks, that, my dear, is not a strategy. Not a strategy for success. It's a strategy, all right, but it's not a strategy for success, right? Having a clear-cut client journey and a powerful social media strategy and really mastering high ticket sales or having a high ticket sales conversation, those are all important. There's different strategies behind that. Important, needed, necessary. Absolutely important, needed, and necessary. I teach all of it. It's required. It's required. But the real truth of it all is that strategy without identity work is like pouring water into a cracked vase. It's like pouring water into a cracked vase. It looks fine at first. I don't know if you've ever actually done that before. I've done it accidentally. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's leaking. And that's exactly what's happening. You're having these energy leaks. Your energy is leaking, right? Unbeknownst to you. And that's why, again, we're having this conversation. And I see this all the time with brilliant nurses and nurse practitioners, right? In the functional medicine and holistic health space. I see it all the time. They download yet another blueprint that they're actually not going to implement. They sign up for yet another course, another passive course that leaves them wanting more and leaves them like kind of pissed off that they even did it. And or they get all hyped up for the week, right? But the reality of it, they get hyped up for the week and then they try to implement whatever it is. But the reality of it is that underneath the action that they're taking, there is a level of self-doubt. There is a level of self-doubt. There's a part of them that's still asking, Can I really build a successful business? Can this business really sustain me and my family, without having to keep my second job or having to get another job, right? Can this business really create the lifestyle and the level of freedom that I am really desiring? Can I really hold $30,000 months? Can I hold $50,000 months? Can I hold 100, insert your own number, $100,000 months? Again, we say that that's what we want, but there is a part of us that's like, ooh, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. So there's a level of doubt, and there is a level of questioning and wondering. And that frequency of questioning literally slows down everything. That's why, if you are executing your strategy, whatever your strategy is, and you're doing the things that are actually income generating, but it's not fruitful, or it's not producing the level of results that you want, it is because, again, the strategy illusion, and even more so, the identity gap. So let's talk about the identity gap. So there is a version of you that already lives in the $20,000 a month reality, in the $50,000 a month reality, in the $100,000 a month reality, whatever insert your number. Okay. There's a version of you that already lives there. She has a level of certainty. She moves fast. She's decisive. She trusts herself, right? She's unapologetic about her offers. She's confident in the level of transformation that she's able to provide. Like, she's unshakable. But if the version of you that's showing up today is still playing it safe, still hedging, still negotiating her voice, still not living in her truth, right? Still faking the funk, as I like to call it, or still at some level, still needing outside validation, maybe still hiding, right? Not really showing up visibly, or not having the level of visibility that I'm pointing to the up, right? The she, which is your next level version of yourself. If there is any incongruence there, then no amount of strategy, hear me on this, no amount of strategy will land the way that it's meant to land. No amount of strategy will elicit the level of success that it is that you're wanting. And in fact, I was going to say chasing, that you're chasing. In fact, it'll keep you in that chasing mode. It'll keep you chasing, right? So get this, no level of strategy. If there's any of those things that I just mentioned, those are energy leaks. If there's any of that anywhere, if there's any incongruence, then no amount of strategy will land and elicit the level of success, or generate the level of success that you're truly desiring. Okay. This is what I call the identity gap. And this is the part that no one ever says. And it has you thinking something's wrong with me. I must be doing something wrong. There must be something. And here's the thing. It's not. It's just that you may not have been aware of this piece of it. And this is a critical piece of the equation. This is a huge part of the equation, okay? It's the distance. The identity gap is the distance between the version of you that says, I want it, and the version of you who says, it's already mine. And not just say it like, oh yeah, it's already mine. Again, this is not about faking the funk. It's not. You can fake the funk all you want, but the results in the pudding, right? The results are in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. How about that? The proof is in the pudding. Okay. And so it's about embodiment. And embodiment means that it's integrated into the fabric of your being, right? You're not faking the funk. It's who you be. It's who you are. There's no energy leaks there, right? And so again, that gap is the main reason. It's the sole reason that I created what I've just created. I'm biting my tongue, not telling you what it is, because it will be launched here in just a few days, depending on when you are listening to this. But what I created was literally built to collapse that gap. Okay. So this is what I want you to understand. We are not in an era of needing more information. Your ideal clients, your health seekers, are not in a space where they're necessarily needing more information. We all have access to Google. We all have access to ChatGPT. We have access to that. So we're not in an era of needing more information. Neither are they. We, all of us, are in an era of deeper embodiment. That's the era we are in. Your dream clients, your health seekers, the people that are out there looking for you, and specifically you. Because remember, and I say this all the time, only you can do what you can do the way that you can do it. Even though we're all in the holistic health space, even though we're all in the functional medicine space, right? We all bring something different to the table. Okay, so only you can do what it is that you can do. And so those specific health seekers that are looking for you specifically, they're not looking for more experts. They're looking for a frequency that they can trust. They're looking for a level of embodiment that they can trust. They're looking for a leader, a health leader who's anchored. Okay, not just knowledgeable, because again, we're all knowledgeable. We're all knowledgeable. We all know our stuff. That's why I would say we are freaking brilliant. We know some stuff. We know some stuff. So that's an equal playing field, pretty much. They're not looking for that, right? They're looking for a level of embodiment and anchor and certainty, period, point blank in the story. And that comes from doing the inner work while you implement the strategy. Okay? I'm going to say that again. That level of certainty, and so the way that you close that the energy gap of the energy gap, or the identity gap, is by doing the inner work while you're implementing. This is not something that you do later, or that when you have more time, or when you feel ready. It ain't that. The real momentum that you're seeking, the real momentum that you're desiring, it happens when your internal world starts matching the level of success or the level of business that you desire, not the other way around. See, we have been led to believe that when we have the level of success or the level of business that we desire, then we'll start working with all the other stuff. When the reality of it is all the other inner stuff, right? When the reality of it is that you won't ever reach that level of success in your business that you truly desire if you skip or bypass or keep putting off the inner work. That's the missing piece. That's the missing piece that no one talks about. Because if it weren't, would you not already be where you desire to be? Because you ardently desire it. You see, it's like right there. But there's like this gap, like, why can't I get there? Because of what I just said, okay? So you can actually take a deep breath now, because now you know. Now you know the missing piece, right? And so here's the thing. If this landed for you, let me just say this, and I'm going to say this very, very clearly. You don't need another strategy. You do need strategy, but you don't need another passive course. You don't need another you don't need more information to consume. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. What you need is a space where identity, strategy, because that is important, embodiment, and execution converge in real time. That's what you need. So remember, the level, then your next level isn't waiting on more strategy. It's not. Even if you thought it was, it's not. Hate to bust your bubble. Actually, I really am glad to bust your bubble, because the thing that makes me so sad and so frustrated, and my heart like bleeds, is that it's like, I need another strategy, and you're looking outside of yourself when the answer is inside. It's the inner work. And again, no one mentions it. So then you think that there's something wrong, and it keeps you in that chasing mode. So I am here to bust your bubble, and I am happy to bust your bubble, because now that you know, you can't unknow, you can't unhear what you just heard. Okay. What it's waiting on is it's waiting on the version of you who knows that she's already her. Okay. I'm going to be unpacking more and more of this in the next episodes to come. And so I'll leave it here for now. Until next time, keep doing your thing, keep rising, keep know that you're here for a reason. Know that you're here for a reason, and know that the level of expansion that you really desire, that again, you've not yet been able to reach yet. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you just didn't know, but now you know. And now there's a space being created for that expansion for you. Okay. More to come on that. Stay connected on, Instagram and Facebook and all the things. If you're not on my email, well, hopefully you're on my email list. Share this episode with someone that you know needs to know this. Okay. And until next time, just remember, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time on the next episode of the Charyse Williams Show. Bye for now.